Anybody, and it's our sport, and it's a countryman's sport.
When all dust settled and all this carry on, as I call it, the biggest loser will be the fox. Because, I'll tell you something, you didn't go well with an arse full of lead, and that's what he'll get when this job's finished. It sounds a bit vulgar, but that's what happens. That's where a lot of foxes get shot with 12 bar, is up bum.
He wants to let us alone because we aren't hurting anybody. We aren't hurting the fox. We're taking the fox out of misery because we've killed a lot of foxes what's been shot in the backside and he's been trailing a leg and the hounds have caught him and they've taken him out of misery.
You know, if I lose my job, which I will do sooner or later if this ban stays, there's been no mention of compensation at all from the government. They're not prepared to compensate us at all. So you've got a lifetime's career gone down the pan, as you might say, and they're not prepared to compensate us.
It's like all of a sudden saying that we're not going to have accountants anymore or solicitors. What are they going to do? They've got homes to live in, kids to support. It's their life, it's their job, it's their home.
Hunt staff-wise, you're probably talking about 1,600 countrywide that'll be affected by it. But the kick-on effect down through your farriers, your feed merchants, your saddlers, your hunt clothing suppliers, your vets, it's just a kick-on effect right down through the whole lot.
What I have to do with the Herworth Hunt, obviously some of the work is based here at the kennels, looking after the horses who go hunting each week, and also the hounds who go hunting each week. But also wider than that, the practice does look after a lot of horses who hunt with the hunt. So it's not just the horses that are here, it's the horses who actually follow the hunt, week by week and day by day. The ban will affect our practice because the horses we currently look after who go hunting, well, obviously they won't be there. So in fact there will be a large number of clients who won't have any horses at all for us to attend to. And obviously at the kennels here, none of these horses will exist, and the hounds will be missing as well. A large number of perfectly normal people are going to lose their horses. The horses they won't keep horses if the hunting is banned and the ban occurs. Then those horses will in fact the owners will not have horses at all, which obviously affects myself and all of the staff that work for me and all the people who are dependent on our business.
You know, if you've got a feed merchant that supplies horse feed for maybe 12 different hunts, and I know one in Northallerton that does supply for 12 different hunts, not just the hunt horses but the hunt followers horses. He's going to, if hunting goes, he's probably going to lose the trade for about 500 to 600 horses, and that's an awful lot of horse feed. So he doesn't only lose the business, but the man that manufactures the horse feed loses the business, and the man that brings the horse feed to his firm with a lorry loses the business. And the kick on down the line is just endless, and it's frightening that they can do this totally against not just public opinion but the evidence of the Burns report and the 6-month consultation period with the hunts that Alan Michael organised. Both those showed no need to ban hunting, and yet the MPs have totally ignored it and voted for a ban. And it's just prejudice, total prejudice.
Well, we're broken-hearted, and I have a daughter what left school when she was 16, and she's done naught else but work with horses, pointer-pointers and hunting, and that's been her life. Now what's she going to do? There's thousands like her the same. They're going to be out of work. So are they going to go on the dole, Mr. Blair? Because a lot will do.
Hey, you're not hard, mister. It's not Howard yet, it isn't finished.
It isn't finished yet, but it looks a bit sick.
Yet.
There's a good hunting man, Billy.
What am I going to do with him?
I don't know. That's it, you see. What are you going to do with all the hunt horses
Just
if
what
they
I tell
finish
you.
hunting?
Tin 'em for cornbread.
Horse-wise, it's difficult to say. Certainly some of them will be put down because when the ban becomes law, there'll be no trade for hunters. The price of hunters will go right through the floor. So certainly any that have got a bit of age about them will be put down almost certainly. The younger ones you might be able to sell on for something else.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Being with these all your life, and it's just what you do. Live with them all the way. See them from the start right to finish. And it'll go, you know. Yeah. We've just got to, as though we've just got to accept this. And so, as I say, why don't they just turn around? What would there be if they banned football? If they said tomorrow, right, we're going to ban football. Same principle to us. You know, we didn't ask for this to be brought on us. We're just there to do a job, what you've done all your life. And some silly bugger that doesn't understand it just turns around and says, right, such and such a date, that all finishes. What happens to these?
When the ban comes in, the hounds ultimately will end up being put down. We will certainly, for as long as our money lasts, we'll keep them going in the hope that we will get a repeal of the law and that we can start hunting again. But if that doesn't happen, these are a pack animal. They do not make pets, and I don't care what anybody says, they don't make pets. They are a pack. Their instinct is to hunt. They've been bred to hunt for over 200 years. And if you took one of these hounds and took it to somebody's house, yes, it'd go and lie in front of the fire and it'll look soft and cuddly, but as soon as they let it out, all it'll want to do is go off and hunt. And you just couldn't have that. It's potentially you're giving them a tool that would turn that person into a criminal.
When I take them out to walk as 10-week-old puppies, the people that walk them say, oh, aren't they darlings, you'll never get them back. At about 9 months, I get a phone call saying, can you come and pick these effing hounds up? Because they're starting to stray, they're starting to hunt, they're digging up the garden, they're pulling the washing off the line, and they're just turning into petulant teenagers, really, you know. And from that on, they would grow into a mature hound that all it wants to do is go out and hunt. And if it's not controlled, they will literally hunt anything.
The hounds, what are we going to do with them? You can't rehome a hound, it's a pack dog. We've got 50 or 60 hounds just in the Herworth. That's one hunt. How many? We've got beagles, hare coursers, everything. They're supposed to be humane people, and let's just come round. It'll be like foot and mouth all over again. Let's just shoot the hounds, hey? Put them in a skip and burn them. It's just exactly the same.
So that you just can't have it. They will have to be put down, and it'll be the saddest day in my life when it happens. And I'll tell you something else too, nobody else is going to do it. They're my hounds, I'll put them down. I won't have anybody else touch them.